Hi, my friends. It's your tour guide to the horror side. Me, Preston E. Had to make sure I got the second syllable out in the word horror. That could have changed the meaning of the whole video if I didn't. Anyway, as we are in the middle of July as of this recording, and it is hot out, very hot, what better time to reflect on scary things that are hot and swampy? And no, I ain't talking about having a hellish case of the swamp booty, though that can be scary too. I'm talking about going down deep into the swamps of Louisiana to take a look at the 4 Hatchet movies from the least to the greatest. The 4th and latest installment of the Hatchet franchise is called Victor Crowley. The movie kicks off in 1964 when Dell, played by Mystery Science Theater 3000's Jonah Ray, proposes to his girlfriend Sue. And life's not easy for a girlfriend named Sue, or for Jonah Ray, as the couple's moment of bliss is interrupted by moans. And no, it's not their moans. It's the moans of a victim of Victor Crowley in the distance. The two go to investigate and find out a hunter who lost his head was tortured and killed by meeting the big, bad, deformed monster man of the bayou, Victor Crowley himself. Normally only tortured by bad, cheesy movies, Jonah Ray in this movie is tortured and killed by Victor, who kills his would-be fiancée too. Fast forward to 2017, and Andrew Young is believed by some to have committed the Crowley Massacre murders. Young, played by Perry Shin, goes on his ex-wife's talk show to promote his book about the events of the massacre. A trio of young people try to get Andrew to help them make a trailer for an indie movie they are making about the Crowley massacres. The trio, Chloe, Rose, and Alex, are thrown out by Sabrina, the talk show host, and the three set off to film the trailer with a swamp tour guide named Dylan. Sabrina and her crew board the private plane that crashes, killing the pilots. Meanwhile, Chloe, Rose, and Alex find the surviving crew members and Sabrina trapped in the plane wreckage. The filmmakers and the crew try to survive Crowley's attacks as they are trapped in the plane wreckage. With brief appearances by Tony Todd on a pre-recorded video and Danielle Harris, this film has some nice surprises that opens up a possible 5th sequel. Impractical Joker star Brian Quinn gets to sink his teeth in a row outside of his popular True TV series and does a fine job getting punished from somebody other than his usual Impractical Joker cohorts for a change. The film feels a bit claustrophobic at times while you're stuck in the plane, but there is plenty of spectacular slashing to appease the gore, gore, gore fans. While it fails to retain the charm of the original, it still packs a lot of slasher punch and leaves the door open for more gory, frightful Crowley flicks. Say that 5 times fast. Hatchet 3 picks up where Hatchet 2 left off, as Mary Beth, played by Scream Queen Danielle Harris, is seen blowing Victor Crowley. That is, blowing Victor Crowley's head to smithereens, whatever that word means, with her shotgun. But being the ultimate challenger for a last man standing match, the annoyingly relentless Victor Crowley just won't stay down and attacks Mary Beth again. She stomps a mud hole in him with a chainsaw and walks it dry with one more shot as she proceeds all bloody to the police department. What a woman. She is, however, immediately suspected by the police of the Honey Island Swamp murders. She grows frustrated trying to explain to Sheriff Fowler, played by Zach Galligan of the Gremlins fame, and the sheriff's ex-wife Amanda, played by Caroline Williams, is a journalist who is trying to get Mary Beth's side of the story. Amanda tells Mary Beth that Victor Crowley must repeat the night he died until he finds his father. Victor's father has died, and Amanda, being of the bloodline, believes she can be the only one to stop Crowley. This film also has appearances of Sid Haig as Crowley's long-distant cousin. This movie ratchets up the kills and victim thrills and is the only one of the series not directed by Adam Green. If you're sensing a pattern here, up next is Hatchet II. This is the introduction to Danielle Harris into the series as she takes over the role of Mary Beth. Tony Todd gets a more expanded role in this sequel as Reverend Zombie. As the sequel picks up where the original left off, Mary Beth escapes Victor Crowley and is rescued by a man named Jack who takes her to his cabin in the woods. But he immediately forces Mary Beth to leave the cabin once he discovers what her name is. Her last name really makes him nervous as he doesn't want any problems with Victor Crowley. Spoiler alert, he gets it anyway. He instructs Mary Beth, however, to seek Reverend Zombie for help. Reverend Zombie tells Mary Beth that her dad was one of the boys who years ago caused a fire leading to Crowley's death as a child. We found out more info of Victor's dad, who cheated on his wife with a nurse named Lena, who was taking care of his cancer-stricken wife Cheyenne. Lena is knocked up by Thomas, and Victor's wife curses Lena, and she gives birth to the deformed child Victor Crowley. And shortly after, Lena dies. Thomas tries to save his son many years later from the fire his tormentors caused, but was unsuccessful, and he became an isolated recluse. Classic country song fodder, let me tell you. Fast forward to current times, and Mary Beth wishes to find her father and brother's remains. Reverend Zombie gathers a group of hunters, promising $500 for the boat's retrieval and a $5,000 bounty for Crowley. The gore and the violence ramps up from the original with the hunters, Zombie, and Mary Beth. This entry is director Adam Green's personal favorite and was a close call to being mine as well. With that being said, you just can't beat the sheer camptacular 80s slasher send-up of the original Hatchet. The original horror dark comedy, of course, introduces us to Kane Hodder and his portrayal of the deformed killer swamp man himself, Victor Crowley. In the original, however, we have Tamara Feldman portraying Mary Beth instead of Scream Queen Danielle Harris, who would portray the character in the following sequels. We get an awesome extended cameo from Freddy Krueger himself, aka Robert Englund, as well as the first look at Tony Todd as Reverend Zombie. In this film, a group of Mardi Gras going buddies takes a boat tour into the swamp with a group of other tourists, including Mary Beth, as they learn the tale of Victor Crowley. Some are there for fun, some are there to shoot a sleazy film, but Mary Beth is there to find her father and brother's remains as they were killed in the bayou by Victor Crowley. The over-the-top gore, delicious horror icon cameos, and the nod to slasher films gets the ball rolling here, as director Adam Green gets a cameo as one of the Mardi Gras going buddies in a true Stephen King-esque appearance. And of course, Victor Crowley himself is played by the 7th Jason Voorhees, Kane Hodder. Did I forget to mention that? Well, that about does it for me in this madness for now. Comment down below if you got something to say about all this, because, well, where else are you going to comment other than down below? And please like, subscribe, and share. I've been Preston E. Garrison, and like a Hatchet movie victim,